Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered how to express ongoing actions in English? Or do you know the difference between I have been working and I worked? Stay connected with this video. We'll answer these questions. My name is Faraz Bugyo and today we are going to learn present perfect progressive tense. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. And also please like and comment. Today we'll understand what present perfect progressive tense is. We'll talk about its structure, formation. Then we'll talk about time expression which is used with this tense, and then we'll compare this tense with present perfect tense. And in the end, I'll tell you about some common mistakes which you might make if you do not know how to use this tense correctly. So let's get going. So present perfect progressive tense is used to describe actions or events that started in the past and continue up to the present moment. So, and used to talk about a continuous ongoing activity or action that is started in the past and is still going on in the present. So you can see the emphasis is continuity of that action or any activity or any event. But it can also talk about a recently completed action that has some relevance to the present. So the action is complete but is connected to the present or is linked with the present. Let's look at these examples. I have been studying for 3 hours. I have been living in the city for 10 years. She has been working as a teacher since she graduated from college. They have been renovating their house for the past few months. As you can see in all these examples, the action shows continuity till present. And you can also see in all these sentences, the time has also been expressed. For example, in the first one, for 3 hours. In the second, for 10 years. In the third, she has been since she graduated from college. And in the last one, for the past few months, right? So expressing time in this tense makes this tense more relevant, more precise, more accurate. Now, how this is formed? The tense is formed using the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs are the verbs which express time or mood. Can, could, should. These kind of verbs, auxiliary verbs, tell the mood, but is, am, are, was, were, have, had, they tell the tense of a sentence. So have in its present tense, right? Followed by the auxiliary verb, right? Been, right? And the present participle, which is ing form of the verb. So subject, then have, been, and then ing form of the verb. The auxiliary verb have indicates the tense, which is present, and been indicates that the action is ongoing. So been is the third form of be. It's pronounced not as been, as been, have been, right? But we'll have more classes for pronunciation. So let's try to understand this tense first. The present participle ing form of the verb, of the main verb, is used to show that the action is continuous or ongoing, right? In this tense, ing form indicates the continuity of action. Now let's look at the example. I have been studying for 3 hours. So I, subject, have been, auxiliary, studying, ing form of the verb, and for 3 years, rest of the words to complete the meaning of the sentence. Now please remember, have is used with first person. It's either singular or plural, like I have, we have. With second person, whether you are talking about one person or many persons, so you have. And with third person singular, which is he, she, it, you will use has. And with third person plural, they, for example, you will use have. Or if there are two names, Hassan and Murtaza, have been working. So you will use have with two names because there will be third person plural. Now, please do this exercise before we go any further. Pause this video, complete this exercise, and then come back to the video. Now, let's look at the examples of affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. For affirmative, we just talked about subject, then have been, then ing form of the verb, and then the rest of the words to complete the meaning of the sentence. I have been studying for 3 hours, or they have been playing soccer since morning. For negative, you will put have and then not. If you do contraction, you will use haven't, which means have and not together. So I haven't been watching TV all day. They haven't been eating junk food lately. If you're not using contraction, the sentence will be I have not been watching TV all day. Or they have not been eating junk food lately. For interrogative sentences, you will put have or has in the beginning of the sentence. So the sentence in interrogative structure will be, have you been studying for the exam? Has she been taking her medicine regularly? Right? So now let's talk about time expression which is used in this tense. Time expressions are used with present perfect progressive to indicate the duration of an ongoing action. For example, we will use for 5 hours, since yesterday, all week, since I started this job. We use for when the period is mentioned, like for 2 years, for 3 days, for 5 weeks. But if there is point of time, then we will use since with that, not for, like since yesterday, since Monday, since first century, since January, since 1947, right? But you need to practice to get good at that, and you need to understand where to use for and where to use since. Time expressions affect the meaning of the sentence by indicating whether the action is ongoing or completed. But if in this tense time expression is not used, still it would indicate that this action is continue for a certain period of time or since a certain time. The context will determine the time. So the sentences coming before present progressive tense or after present progressive tense will indicate the time exactly, right? Or they will give you idea of the time. So let's look at these examples. I have been working for 5 hours. Now, what does this mean? It implies that the action is still going on while I worked for 5 hours. So now this is not present perfect progressive. This is simple past, which means action started in the past and completed in the past, right? I have been studying English since last year. So the action continues. It started in the past. It indicates that it started in the past and it still continues. Now, please do this exercise. Pause this video, complete this exercise, and then come back to continue the rest of the video. So now let's compare present perfect and present perfect progressive. Now, both of these tenses use have plus past participle, right? Third form of the verb we also call that. But present perfect progressive is been plus present participle, which is ing form of the verb, right? Let's look. Present perfect simple focuses on past action completion with present relevance. So any action that started in the past, completed in the past, but it has relevance, it has connectivity with the present, right? Present perfect progressive tense, on the other hand, emphasizes ongoing past action duration. Let's look at these examples. The first one is from present perfect tense. I have worked here for 5 years. So it means although the action is complete, but it has some connection with the present. I have been working for 5 hours. It means the action continues still. There is sense of ongoing activity. Let's look at these examples. She has cooked dinner, which means the action is complete. Maybe she has done this recently already. And look at this. She has been cooking dinner. So it means the action continues, right? Now, what are some common errors that we make in the use of it? So now sometimes what people do, they use simple past tense instead of present perfect progressive. Both these tenses have different meaning. Present simple is used when action started in the past and complete and finished in the past, right? Whereas present perfect progressive, action continues. It is ongoing action. Or sometimes confusing present perfect progressive with present perfect tense, perfect simple tense, right? So why we confuse? Because both of them use have, and then we must understand both have different purpose, both indicate different time. Or using the wrong auxiliary, using have and not using been, so you have to use have been, right? And then forgetting using ing form, right? So what you need to do, you need to understand the difference between this present perfect progressive and other tenses like present perfect tense or past simple tense, or even with present continuous tense. You need to understand the difference between them, right? And also pay attention to have been. You have to use have been in this tense, and also ing form of the verb. Now, please do this exercise. This exercise is going to be really helpful for you. This will determine how far you are able to understand, and you'll be able to retain what you have learned now, right? So pause this video, do this exercise, and then come back. Now, what we have learned today, let's wrap up. So present perfect progressive tense emphasizes the duration of an ongoing action that started in the past and continues into the present. Then it's used by using have or has, then been, and then ing form of the verb. Let's look at these examples. I have been studying English for 3 years. And she has been working on the project all day, right? So you need to avoid common mistakes. Do not confuse this tense with other tenses, right? And also pay attention to the duration, right? So you need to understand how this tense is used. Why? Because not only you'll be able to show that you know enough English, but then you'll be able to express things which are precise, exact, right? You would know that for this kind of time duration, this is the tense, right? So this will make your English even better, right? Thank you very much, everybody. These are my social media links, and please do not forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Also like and comment. Thank you so much. Take good care, and bye-bye.